Welcome, people, to another episode of Sports and Superheroes. This is episode 16. Oh, we getting close to being drinking
60.
age. Yeah, 16. We
Wow.
putting them in there. We putting them in there. As you can see, we are on video now. We'll slowly upgrade that when we get money or things come available. But right now, you're getting that 720, so be happy with it. But this is the podcast where we talk about sports and superhero entertainment news of the week. I'm one of your hosts, Gershon, with my fellow hosts.
I'm Marcus, and today, hey, before we get started in the podcast, I just want to jump in and ask you a question quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, as you know, Sinners came out last weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
My wife got to go see it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go see it
okay.
soon.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions. I'm definitely going to see it because I've heard and read great things about it.
I have too.
So from my understanding, it's like a vampire movie. Is that correct?
So I had somebody, he didn't spoil the movie for me. He says this is a spoiler for other people
Wait.
if you don't want to know anything about the movie.
Okay, because I would
He
say
didn't give me he didn't give me like huge details or anything like that. He says
okay,
the vampire part is an extra part. The movie
okay,
itself is still a movie by itself, is good by itself. The vampire is an extra thing that happens later in the movie per se. So
hmm
I was like, okay. He was like, I was excited because I like vampires and I like Michael B. Jordan and I like, dang, I'm blanking on his name. Um what's the director's name?
uh,
Ryan,
uh,
is it
Cougar.
Ryan
Ryan, wait,
Coogler?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like him, Coogler. I like him as a director. He directed multiple things that have been good. Fruitville Station, Creed, Black Panther. Black Panther 2 was okay, but he hasn't really missed since he's been directing stuff. So I like him. Um, so I'm really eager to see the movie. Seen like he had a Breakfast Club thing about the movie.
hmm
What kind of reason why he made it? I watched that on the Breakfast Club, and that was cool. Side note, did you see that post about the dude was talking about Ryan Coogler need to learn to talk because the way he talked, he need to change the way he talked. He was on
No, I didn't see
TikTok.
that.
This dude, he's like, look at this dude talking like this. He need to talk proper and all this stuff. He ain't from the hood no more. And I was like, dude, that's just
Oh,
how he
come on,
talks.
come on,
Like,
bro.
calm down. It's just like he talks. He's just being
Yeah,
who he is.
right.
Simply. Like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, basically. Even with
Yeah.
success. But yeah,
I,
I want to go see it, hopefully. Side note, since we're talking about that, do you want to do a review when we both actually eventually go see it?
yeah,
Like,
I'm
when are you planning to go see it?
either this weekend or Monday.
Okay, so let's try to do a review for the next episode. Because I'll try to go this weekend to make sure I see it so we can both
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah.
So look forward to that next week, guys. We do a review of Sinners. Even though this is not necessarily within our podcast, but hey,
Okay.
whatever. It's our podcast. We do whatever we want. It don't matter.
Yes. See, yeah, that was more of my question. Like, would that be? I mean, 'cause technically, superheroes. I mean, it's not a
I mean,
superhero,
vampires do
but
have superhuman strength,
right.
so there's that aspect.
Okay.
Um, it's our
So,
podcast. If we want to do it. We're gonna. Hey, we can always
okay.
blend stuff in. It don't matter.
No.
It don't
Okay.
matter, baby. We do what we want.
Yeah. Well, see,
But
yeah, that
yeah.
was so you answered my question
Okay.
without me even answering it. 'Cause I think you
Okay.
saw where I was going with it. But yeah, I'll
Yeah.
probably
Yeah. I
go
can understand that.
either Friday or Monday morning because my girl be complaining. 'Cause as you know, I don't watch many movies, and
True.
I don't go to the movies at all because I can
True.
watch that on my TV. But when I do go to the movies, cause I like I have like Mondays off, I go early
Uh
in the
huh.
morning. And when it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, my girlfriend like, oh, you going at 10:30. I'm like, look here, lady, it's a lot cheaper to go you want to go at this time, early morning, when I pay for it and it's cheaper, or you want to go
Exactly.
later when it costs 32 and we could have went out to dinner for that price.
Exactly. I go when it's feasible to me and more least expensive for me. 100%. That's why people was hitting them Tuesdays up because they was doing like $5 Tuesday. I think it went to $7
Yeah,
Tuesdays now.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
hey, money got to be stretched sometimes. So you do what you got to do. I
Yeah.
understand that. Um,
We ain't making
but
money off this podcast. I tell you that.
not
Not yet.
yet. Not yet. We're gonna put that into fruition. Not yet. So, side note, if you would like to advertise on our podcast, get in contact with us. I don't have a fee right now, but you get in the bottom floor, so it'd be real low. You get a couple ads in there. Holla at us. Holla at us. Long as it's not some weird products you want to advertise, we're all cool. Long as we like what you're doing and we're okay with it, we're advertised. That's how we're gonna do it over here. But before we get any further into this, y'all should go ahead and hit that subscribe button because this is being good
Yeah,
content right now. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
Hit
you
that.
need to hit that subscribe button. For one, it's free. For two, it
Free.
helps us, and it's a great way to
Definitely.
help us out here over here supporting us. And if you like what you listening or watching, because you can watch us now, go hit that like button as well, and then send that to like 60 of your friends. If you don't have
That'd be
60
dope.
friends, you can send it to 20. That's totally fine too. But
Yeah,
greatly appreciate. Check all our social medias down below in the
yeah.
description. Link us.
Put the
Um,
put that link on your social media too. That'd be
that
grateful.
that would be. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, that'd be
That
helpful.
would be awesome. Just tell them, hey, go listen to these guys. They're funny. Um, but yeah, that you also can leave us a voice message if you want. That's down below. Ask us a question. As long as it's not weird, we'll be gladly to answer it. And you might be on the podcast too. You get your voice on the podcast. So that's pretty cool there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into one of our stories. Let me make a timestamp because I got to remember stuff. Don't mind me. This is just editing. So my first story, if you didn't know, I did a live reaction to the second Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. It came out 4 or 5 days ago by the time this comes out. Did a live reaction. Go check that out on our YouTube. But I want to get a little more in depth in talking about it. I'm mm, I'm still met on my excitement of this movie. They did show us Reed Richards' stretching ability, a little bit of it, not a lot. I want to see a little bit more. They tried to show everybody's powers in this one. This one was a little more informational trailer, not as action packed as I would like to see the action of the movie. At least a couple action scenes, but we got to see them use their superpowers a little more. We got Johnny Torch Flame On. We got Ben Grimm barreling through pillars to kind of take down this building. We also got him pulling a giant ship with an anchor, with a chain anchor. He's just pulling it in the water. He looks really good. The CGI on Ben Grimm, the thing looks amazing. Looks great. The CGI on the Human Torch looks great. Storm's, I don't know which way they're doing her power. Not Storm. Sue Storm. I don't know. Invisible Girl. I don't know which way they're gonna do her powers because in the comic books, sometimes her powers are being able to make invisible shields, and sometimes it's being able to reflect light around her. So depending on which way they go with her powers is gonna dictate how strong she is. The invisible shields, she's super strong. She can make invisible shields to float on. She can fly around on them. She can encompass people. Super strong with that. If it's just the reflecting of light, she can't do as much with that she could do with invisible shields. So not sure which way they're gonna go with that. So we have to see. Um Reed's power doesn't look all that great. Oh my god, my phone died. Can you
Oh
see
no.
me?
Yeah. Well, you
Oh,
froze, but I can still hear
uh,
you.
okay. Hold on.
All right.
There we
Oh,
go.
okay. There you go. You're
Okay.
back.
Okay, I gotta watch that because the phone went light. Uh, technical difficulties, people. It happens. We're not cutting it out. We're gonna leave it in. It is what it is. Like I said, Reed's stretching ability. I wanted to see a little bit more of it. It looked okay, but once you start really stretching, it might look wonky. But uh, stretching in live action has always been kind of weird, doable but weird. So we have to see with that. But we got to see them interacting, and Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, he's playing a lot more somber and not sad, but kind of depressed. And Reed is he's not a depressed dude. He's a more always in his head dude. So maybe that's what he's trying to play, but it's not coming off like that. I don't know. Just from the clips I've seen, um, I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it, kind of not. We did get our first look at Silver Surfer, and she doesn't look that great to me. The CGI on her might not be done. They might add some touch ups, but it didn't look that great. Like I said in the live trailer reaction, we did get a confirmation of Sue being pregnant, so there are effects from their first baby. Their first baby is supposed to be Franklin Richard, who has the ability to create worlds. Like he can create whole new worlds, which is probably ties into why Galactus is coming because we saw Galactus. Um, it could be that he wants Franklin to make him world so he can eat because that's how Galactus eats. He eats off planets, so that could be it. Um, Reed does seem like he is upset because he feels like he brought this upon the world because he's been going out in space doing his thing. Because if you know, there are astronauts and they went out in space, got mutated, and now they're back and they're saving the world with their powers. And it's like a '60s futuristic world, but it doesn't. It seems like everything is great. I mean, this is a movie, and people are going to complain like, "Is there no segregation going on here? Is there any sexism? What's going on? Why everybody acting like they're all cool?" So that's something to be interested to see. But this is supposed to be a building block to the Secret Wars and Doomsday, and them being in a different dimension than the regular MCU. They're not in the same dimension. So somehow they have to come to our dimension eventually. So we're going to see how that happens. I'm excited to see how that happens. I think I need a more. Hopefully, they should put out another trailer, and it should be a little more action packed. I don't need any more story of what's going to happen. I need action. I need to know there's going to be action in this and good action. This is the first time. Ooh, this is the third time actually. The Fantastic Four has been in a live action movie, and you got 2 to 3 other times to compete, but you're also competing with The Incredibles. The Incredibles has 2 movies, and they were kind of the first superhero family after Fantastic Four, and they're doing it better. So you guys got a lot to live up to. So let's see what they do. It's coming out July at close to the end of July, July 21st, I think. I might be wrong, I might be right. They also are competing against Superman. Superman is going to be coming out at that time too. So we're going to see who's going to win the box office race for those 2 movies, Fantastic Four, Superman. Hit us in the comments. Which one are you excited to go see right now? For me, ooh, I never was a big Superman fan. Huh. I might be a little more excited to see Superman because I I we're gonna talk about Superman in my next subject, but I seen some stuff that I'm kind of interested to see what they do with that. So I'm a little more excited right now to see Superman. Even though I'm mostly a Marvel fan, I'm a DC fan too, but it goes Marvel DC. And sometimes DC pulls away and then they come back out. So that's just how it is for me. You can love them both. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm mostly Marvel. Yeah. So, Marcus, you got any questions about
Uh,
the Fantastic Four?
yeah. So, like you said, it's gonna be interesting how they do the stretching and live action. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be curious of how that's going to look because, like, as that ever been done before? Like, is it just
It's
been
been
like,
done because there's been three other Fantastic Four live action movies. The first one with Jessica Alba, she was in that one. And they made her uh uh her invisible powers. She didn't reflect, like she just made invisible stuff. So
mm,
they went that way with her. Um, the stretching was okay in that, but that was also almost 20 years ago. And then there
right,
was another one maybe 15 years ago. Michael B. Jordan played the Invisible Torch, and not invisible, the Torch, and who else was in that? Oh dang, I forget that lady's name, and then that guy's name, and then that guy's name. So that's like if you playing the drinking game where I forget people's names, that's three shots right there. So
yeah,
down them down. Uh, but yeah, they that movie didn't do so well,
okay,
but the stretching looked okay in that. It looked decent in that. So I don't think they have trouble with it. But the fact that they're not showing it is kind of suspicious.
okay,
Um, that makes me a little weary that they're not showing it. Other
right.
than that, the story looks okay. It's semi interesting. Oh, they was it not Jack Kirby? There seemed to be modeling it after a famous comic book artist and writer, and I had his name and I forgot it. I meant to write it down, but he makes these interesting covers, and I think they're modeling this movie from that. And when you look at his covers and look at shots from this movie, it goes hand in hand. So you see where the artistry they're doing with this is coming from. Um, the only thing is that going to be too much of a comic book person's flair and not a normie? Which, if you don't know what that is, we've discussed it.
Here,
Normies are
here
just
we
regular
here,
people that don't read comic books.
here we go with this name calling stuff again.
But it comic book fans will see it. I don't know if normies will see it and appreciate it and be excited for it. So
I probably
you
won't.
want you
I
want
probably
the comic book fans, but you need normal people to go watch this to make $1 billion.
won't.
And anything under 600 million is kind of a flop for Marvel at this point. So, which sounds crazy. I know a lot of other movies would be glad to make 600 million, but for Marvel at this point, it's kind of a flop.
Mm. So, and then my other thing, you said they go into space and they come back and then they have superpowers and saving the Earth and whatnot. I, I don't. Okay, I'm throwing a little shade when I say this. It kind of sounds like what was it, the end of last week? Was it like Thursday or Friday when Gail King and Katy Perry and whoever else they went up to space? That well, technically was it? Oh, it was the
So,
Edge for like 10 minutes. It came back down, and then they come back, and then they call themselves astronauts. Like no,
okay.
the women who actually got up and went on the moon, those women are astronauts. They got out, they did stuff up there in space. The woman who just stuck up in space for a year, she's an astronaut. You celebrities are not astronauts. You just flew up there for like 10 minutes. It's probably that ride was probably like 10, 5, 7, 8 minutes to come up. And you came right back down. And now you coming back and Gail King will be all high, almighty. Thompson, have you ever been to space? What you mean? You ain't like, did you really? You
You
ain't been
barely
doing
been to
nothing.
space.
All right. Like,
Exactly.
come on, you come back all bougie and I like that. So that's what that reminded me of. We said they went to space and they came back and yeah, because they
Understandable.
came back acting
Understandable.
all bougie and whatnot. And so, and now they send a future
Understandable.
and space and what? It says future up there and some other people. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, we're supposed to be trying to save the
Understandable.
planet and we're using all these gas emissions to fly these celebrities up in space, causing all this pollution in the ozone for they little millionaires. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I can understand that. So how can I say this? Some people said that. I seen a couple in the comments said, "Oh, Sue Richards looks like Katy Perry, or Katy Perry looks like Sue Richards, or something like that," because Katy Perry has some picture of her when she stepping out the capsule and stuff. So they do go into space. They are astronauts. Like Ben Grimm is a pilot. Reed Richards is a scientist and an astronaut. He knows what he's doing. In this one, they make Johnny less of a heartthrob and more of a. He's still a kind of a flirt, but he's supposed to be more intelligent of a flirt and more intelligent of a guy. Sue is also very intelligent as well. They seem to downplay it a little in the trailers, but she does seem more authoritative in this, which could be a good or a bad thing. Like I said before, there was a rumor that she is kind of the main character of the story. It's usually Reed Richards is the main character. In this movie, she might be the main character, the main focus at times. So that's going to be interesting to see if they do it that way. They do go into space. They go like out into space. They out there. They out there, and they get hit by some cosmic rays that give them their abilities. So they're not mutants, but for some reason, when they have their child, which is Franklin Richards, he is a mutant, which is weird because I guess he would be a mutant since their bodies got transformed, mutating their bodies. Their offsprings would be mutants, so I guess that does make sense. But he's a mutant, um, and sometimes his powers don't kick in until he's like a toddler or more of a little kid and not a baby. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, I forgot to say this. In the trailer, you can see she's pregnant. You can see like when the Silver Surfer comes down, she's pregnant. And by the time Galactus comes, she's had the baby. So Franklin will be alive and not in her stomach. He will be born. So we're going to see the first pregnant superhero and the first pregnant superhero give birth to. So that's gonna be new for Marvel. That's really cool. Hey Abigail, that's my daughter. So that's gonna be really cool. So that's a first step right there. See, that title is really good now I think about it. Because first steps can mean anything. It can be first steps for Galactus on Earth, first steps for a mega level mutant, first steps are going into a whole nother planet or dimension because they're most likely this planet is going to get eaten and they're going to be pushed into another dimension. I don't know if it's going to be Franklin or Galactus or whoever's going to move them to another dimension because they're going to be in Secret Wars and Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. So they got to get there. So that's going to happen one way or another. But yeah, they do go into space. They're 100% astronauts. So there's no lie there. They're not pulling we went to the cusp. No, they went out there.
Terrible, 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 terrible.
Understandable.
All right. So we still got more.
No, that's good. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Next
Well,
topic.
oh man. Well, this next one is a lot to unpack going on here. I would say the internet this week, Monday, the internet was a wild place to be. Wild place. It's a lot of stuff going on. But
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe. Seems
Ooh.
to be in some trouble.
I seen
Allegedly.
that today.
Allegedly. So Shannon Sharpe has been sued by a woman that he had a relationship with in 2023. Apparently, this part is wild to me. She's 19 when their relationship began. I think Shannon Sharpe is 56 right now, so he was in his 50s. He's 56. Yeah, so he was in his 50s when they met. Apparently, she's a OnlyFans model. They met at a gym of some sort. So She's suing Shannon for 50 million. And then Shannon immediately put out a statement and video denying it. Says Shannon Sharpe denies all allegations of sexual assault, battery, and harassment brought against him in a 50 million civil lawsuit. That's a thick civil lawsuit, not a criminal, civil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's civil is like you're looking for, a payout. But criminal
Exactly.
is like I want this person to be charged and put in jail for their
Yeah.
crimes. Okay. The plaintiff in the lawsuit alleges that Sharp engaged in forced sexual encounters, recorded their interactions without consent, and threatened her in a explicit call. So this whole recorded their interactions without consent. So Shannon said her lawyer is going to put out a 10-second clip of like a sex tape, I guess, supposedly. And Shannon was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, don't put out the little 10-second, 30-second clip, put out the whole video 10 minutes. Don't edit it and just put part of it out. If you can put it out, put the whole thing out. So I guess whatever is in that video, a couple of seconds of it, I guess, is pretty bad. Uh, Shannon's authority claims the relationship was consensual, with explicit text messages provided as evidence, includes the plaintiff attempting to blackmail Sharp. So the crazy thing is, the woman's lawyer is Tony Bugsby, and I don't know if you're familiar with that name, but that lawyer had earlier this year had brought a lawsuit against Jay Z and Diddy, claiming that Jay Z
Yeah.
raped a 13-year-old girl at a party at a party at an after party of the VMAs in 2000, and then that suit got dropped because she it came out that she was lying about it, that it never happened, because she was like,
Mm-hmm.
it happened. Then I called my dad. My dad came pick me up, and then the dad was like, I don't remember that. He was like, I think I remember something like that if that actually happened.
I
So
remember
then,
that. Dad was like, I remember driving to pick you.
right. So
That's wild.
that lawsuit got dropped. So with that being said, it is interesting that Tony Busby is her lawyer for this case as well. I said,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Is he say, she say? But I mean, Shannon did just like he did just sign $100 million contract.
Oh,
I do
dang.
believe.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah. So it's like the timing of this. I mean, if you really, you know what? I'll take that back with the timing, because I don't want to sound like I'm victim blaming or anything like that. But so also the text messages, those were pretty wow. She, I'm not gonna read them all, but she was like, she said, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're having sex with me."
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Okay.
she texts Shannon, "I know you missed this big juicy ass, 25,000 for each cheek." And then she was like, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever you want to me." And then she was like, "I I want you to put a big black baby in me."
Wow.
So these are text messages
Wow.
she sent Shannon that he released. So yeah, this is interesting. Um, hey, come on, Shannon, you gotta be smarter than that. Because when Monique was on his podcast at Club Shay Shay, she was telling him like, you need to get with somebody that's mature, who's loving, who's gonna love you, and an older woman, and he going around smashing 19-year-olds, and
Yeah.
his situation, which is bad because
Yeah.
he works for ESPN, and who owns ESPN? the mouse,
The
Disney.
mouse. The mouse don't play
So
that. The mouse
so
don't play that.
also, uh, and so it was said that he tried to settle this, like pay her off before all this came out.
Okay.
I don't remember the amount. I don't remember the amount, but apparently he tried to pay off before all this came out. And my guess
Hmm.
is because he works for Disney, so he didn't want this coming out because he already survived one thing with his little sex tape with
Yeah.
the other
Now
woman.
when it was that her on the tape.
He survived that, and he still got a job at ESPN. So we'll
Mm.
see how this play out. But I will say her lawyer being Tony Busby makes it a lot more suspicious for me.
It does. It makes it very much suspicious. But after he put out that whole, there's people coming after me, and which was surprising, but felt a little more damning to him than him not saying anything. So I don't know if it helped or not. I heard the conversation he had with her on the phone. And
Oh yes.
I'm not saying it's. Do you got that information?
So apparently there's two audio clips. I think another one came out, but the first one that came out was she said to him, "You are
Hold on.
manipulating me."
Before you say anything, these are allegedly. We're not saying these are
Allegedly,
real. These are allegedly. Allegedly, because
allegedly.
don't come try to sue our little company.
Uh,
We ain't got no money right
yeah.
now. So don't do that, Shannon.
So uh,
Allegedly.
allegedly, in the first audio that came out, he was talking to her on the phone, and she said, "Chat, you're manipulating me." And then allegedly, Shannon was like, "Don't use that word. If you use that word, I'm gonna choke you." That was the first audio clip I saw. But as we
Yeah.
were starting the podcast, I was doing a little more research. Apparently, there's another audio clip that's out now. Uh, some about like uh, hold on. I might choke you in public. Big black guy choke small white woman. So I allegedly, it's what I'm reading.
Allegedly, yeah, that's what I think I've heard that one because she said something about why are you doing this? Don't manipulate me. And he said something about you shut up before I choke you. I choke you in public. And she was like, don't do that to me, or I like that or something. He's like, yeah, I know you like getting choked. Just stop being. I was like, wow, Shannon, I get it. I get it. You think you having a private conversation, but unless you talking to that person in person and you can see their hands, they'll be saying incriminating stuff, bro. What are you doing? Not saying you
Yeah,
should be saying stuff to get away with stuff. I'm saying, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Because
yeah.
it's a
It's a,
bad situation, Shannon. It's a
I,
bad situation.
allegedly, it sounds like they like role playing, and
Yeah,
then
this
she
definitely seems like a thing. It's not just
eh,
one sided.
right, like allegedly she likes to be choked during these encounters, and allegedly, because you get put a big black baby inside me and put a dog collar around me and choke me while you
That made
smash
it
like
weird.
eh,
So
yeah. So
yeah.
they on some freaky stuff. They
They
also free
hey, do your
both of them.
thing, y'all. Hey, you're consenting adults. One adult
Yes.
is very much younger than the other adult. That is frowned upon. But y'all are adults. But now y'all
Yes.
getting into messy stuff where she's suing you. Uh, is she looking for a payday? Has she been
It,
eyeing it up for a payday, or is this a lover quarrel going wrong? It's up in the air right
yeah,
now.
yeah, because it says, yeah, Shannon is reportedly in negotiations on $100 million deal for his network of shows. So
Mm,
again, like I said, with Tony Bugsby being her lawyer makes it more suspicious for me, and
it does make it look suspicious.
it sounds like they both was on some freaky stuff, and it really does sound to me allegedly that this is a shakedown. But
Mm,
if she really got sexually assaulted and raped, then allegedly, if she gets assaulted and raped, then Shannon needs to do the time for his crime. And I'm just going to leave it
Yes,
at that.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. If you did it, you get locked up. Like, but that's the thing. You famous enough not to have to do that. Really, you don't have to do that even if you're not famous. If someone don't like you, there's other people in the world. Go talk to somebody else. Don't
But
force yourself on nobody.
I definitely agree with that. I say I never understood why celebrities get in trouble for like sexual assault and rape. Was like you are famous, you have money. There's plenty of women who wants to sleep with you for free. You don't need to. You don't
I
need
don't
to
get it.
do this. I never understood that. But like with this, like I said, it allegedly sounds like they had a consensual relationship,
Yeah,
and then some way or another something went sideways. But
yeah.
but my thing, what you shouldn't you're in your 50s. What are you doing with a 19-year-old in the first place?
This is very true. I mean,
I
yeah.
understand
I mean,
like
we all know what he's doing with a 19-year-old,
I don't
but
yeah
should he be doing this with a 30-year-old that has a little more
but
sense?
exactly. If
Yes,
you're going, you can't go. Don't go that. Like she's barely legal, barely. I
barely,
know. I know some
barely.
people consider
There's
it
some
the age of
fine 30-year-olds too. Come on now. Who was it?
Hell,
Tracy Ross. Tracy Ross just did some interview where she was like, I'm
you think
I'm
younger.
I'm single. Yeah, did she date younger? But they was like younger, she meant like 35, 40, not 20-year-old younger. She didn't mean like super young.
Hey, I
Uh
don't care. She
and
could
they
come
was
holler
getting
at me.
at her. Hey,
You
I was
know,
like, boy, you better be lucky I'm married, Tracy. Not saying I'm in your league, but I will shoot my shot.
man,
But
her, uh, Neil Long, Selma Hayek,
me alone.
what's that?
Whew.
Sophia from off of what's that TV show?
Oh, oh, you mean Modern Family?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. hmm
Yeah, yeah,
Here,
yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you because I've had a crush on this woman since I was a child. Claire Hustable. Yes. I mean, she old now. Like, she
Which
old now.
Claire Huxtable?
From Priscilla Rashad.
Okay, okay, okay,
I mean,
okay.
now she's like
Oh
old.
yeah.
She's like
I was
old.
thinking Family
You
Matters. My bag. Cosby
uh,
Show. Gotcha.
yeah.
100%. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Ooh.
Oh,
She
yeah.
still look good now too. Even old, she still look good.
Yeah, I
Well, I
probably
ain't
have
seen
to.
her in maybe 15 years, maybe,
Oh,
but she probably still look
she
good.
she was in that movie
Black don't
recently with
crack, baby.
she was in a movie recently with Jason
She
what's
was
the
beekeeper.
beekeeper?
She was
Yeah,
in that.
I
She
actually
looked
watched that movie.
good.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
looked good.
But yeah, long story short, if you're in your 50s, you should not be messing with a teenager.
You really
I,
should. You
yeah,
really should.
but,
Yeah.
but again, all
You
this
really
is
should.
alleged. All
All
this
of
is
it's
alleged.
alleged.
We'll see what
Shannon,
happens.
hopefully you don't go down in 5. Hopefully you didn't do something wrong. Smack some ass, got some grabs, choke somebody. Please don't go to jail in 5. Uh,
Yeah, you gotta be careful out here, man. You gotta be careful
yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta be
because
careful. It's crazy. Just
these
like
people be liking this freaky stuff, but then once they can flip the script on you, and then you in a
but
situation.
there's so many older women that like the freaky stuff too that you could just be with that also understand. Hey, we two adults doing this, and I'm consenting to this, and I'm not pulling that consent away to try to sue you later.
Hey,
Or
I'm
if you
actually
did do it, I'm not letting that happen.
now again, like I said, it shouldn't be messing with a 19-year-old. The picture that's attached to the story I'm looking at, I see why he did it.
Yeah, I think
I, that said is right,
she's very
but
pretty lady.
The picture that I'm looking at right now that's attached to this news story.
Don't screenshot that and send that to me. I need to see the picture for evidence purposes. Um, but yeah, you gotta be careful. Just like James Gunn needs to be careful with showing behind the scenes of his new Superman movie, as he lets us know on Superman Day he showed this because we thought he was gonna show a trailer, and they didn't give us a trailer. They gave us behind the scene footage of the making of Superman. We got some beautiful shots of Superman walking with his cape flowing in the back. You got a really good look at his cape. You got a really good look at Superman walking, his posture, and all that. The symbol. I'm really starting to dig the Superman symbol. At first, I didn't like it as much. I'm starting to dig it. But even with that, we got a lot of background scenes. We got to see what's his name? We got to see Hawk Girl, but we've already seen her. We got to see Metamorphosis. I think that's his name. He's a villain from within Superman. He's an elemental villain. So we got to see him. It looks like a practical suit, but hopefully they go touch it up with CGI. He looks very comics accurate, but he looks like a CW comics accurate Metamorpho. I want you to be movie wise. But other behind the scenes things we saw Lex Luthor in his command center, a great shot of him commanding his troops to follow Superman, keep tabs on Superman. We got to see what else did we see? I'm blinking for a second. We got to see Lex Luthor and Superman standing next to each other. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. Got me kind of hyped for the movie because that is like the ultimate bad versus evil. Lex Luthor, smart, genius man, upset with this alien that's protecting the Earth while he's trying to destroy it or at least take over it to an extent. We also got a glimpse, which I believe and other people believe is Lex's super suit, where he makes a suit where he's able to fight Superman because Superman's super powerful. Lex a human being. He makes a suit that helps him be able to throw punches, throw hands. Most of the time, Lex fights Superman with his mind. He pays people to fight Superman because he's rich. So I don't mind the suit. I know other people don't like the suit. They think Lex Luthor should fight Superman with his mind and not actually try to fight him physically, or at least pay other people to fight him because he's rich. I figured Lex is a he is he still got it from the gutter. Like a lot of Lex Luthor, and I guess and that was only in that movie. I don't think he did that in other things. Like Luthor's always been an inventor, made his money. I can't say that word. The Philanthropist, who internet, go ahead and roast me on that. I can't say that. Ooh, I'm not even trying to get. He gets money, and the way he gets money, he makes inventions, all that stuff, stock stuff. So he never really was poor. I don't believe. So he's always been entitled. So usually entitled rich people don't really like to get their hands dirty, but he likes to get his hands dirty apparently. So he got his own suit to fight him man to man. I think that's what's going on. And then also we got a behind the scenes of some people believe that it's a white Martian. It looks like Lex is standing next to a weird kind of deformed human, and it looks kind of like a white Martian, which is not the same as a green Martian, who Martian Manhunter is. The white Martians are actually the not bad guys, because white Martians aren't bad necessarily. Green Martians aren't bad either, but they fight their enemies. White Martians and Green Martian are enemies on Mars. And if you don't know, if you didn't watch it, what is that show? Young Justice um, has a white Martian on there. That's Martian Manhunter's niece. She's actually a white Martian. I'm blanking on her name. That's why I'm not saying her name. Dang it, what is her name? I want to say Mandy, or she adopts the name Mandy from a TV show that she used to watch. She's a white Martian in the show. So we there's a theory out there. Don't know of the theory because we have what is that guy? Ultraman is there. I think that's his name. That might be wrong. But he's supposed to be a clone of Superman. Now people are saying it might be that white Martian who can shapeshift looking like a clone of Superman, but actually is a white Martian. But I don't remember if they were strong enough to actually throw blows with Superman. I think Superman is well stronger than White Martian is, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not super keen on White Martian's strength. I know Martian Manhunter has superhuman strength, but I don't think he's strong as Superman. He still has superhuman strength, but I don't think he's nearly as strong as Superman. So I don't think they could fight and win because we do see a clip of Superman being arrested and Ultraman is there. I think it's Ultraman. I could be wrong on that, but you guys will tell me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But overall, it looks very interesting. More because they have so many things they're putting in this on top of it being a origin story for Superman because it's a brand new Superman. You have to introduce him. You have to go through his origin. That's just what it is. But you're bringing in Green Lanterns, Hawkwoman. You're bringing in Metamorphosis is one of your villains. Lex Luthor is one of your villains. There's a kaiju in there. You possibly have a a white Martian in there. You also got Mister Terrific, so you got to give some explanation on Mister Terrific, who is a character I don't know very much about. He's supposed to be a super smart tech kind of dude, black dude, which is cool. Got this weird T black on his face, which is a little bit weird, but he's super smart. Got these orbs that he powers with his mind, I think telekinetically. I said that probably wrong, but you got to talk about him, give a little origin on him, and give us a story of Clark and Lois finding love in this. And that's a lot of stuff to do in a 2.5 hour, 22 and 40-minute movie. And this movie is going to hold up your DC universe. Like, if this movie does bad, everything after is going to probably be shit, unfortunately. And the bigger issue is that it's not just a Superman movie, it's a James Gunn Superman movie. Like, he's putting his stamp all over this. He's front and center. He's been in all the interviews, in almost all the shots. He's in the shots, kind of in the forefront. He's making himself kind of bigger than Superman. And unfortunately, if this doesn't do well, he's gonna get 100% of the blame because he's like, this is my project. I'm doing this. He's making himself bigger than the actual superhero, which could go good or bad. If it does good, sends him to God status. His fans are gonna raise him up even higher. He's gonna not be able to be knocked down. But if it does bad, it will kind of catapult his fame down, unfortunately. Um, so he's rolling the dice on this. Like, I get it. You got to take a big shot, and this is going to be a big shot. That's why most people don't put themselves front and center on projects like that. They let the project speak for itself and see how it does. And if it does good, they be like, yeah, I helped that along, and they still get credit. They don't get as much. But when you put yourself front and center, when that project does good, you get all the praise. But when that project does bad, you get all the heat. So it's live by the sword, die by the sword on this one. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens. But I am a little more excited for it. It's piqued my interest a little more. I'm really kind of excited to see it more than I thought I was initially. They did say they did some test screenings, and people are upset with the tone. They say the tone feels more like the first trailer, which people liked, but the test screeners said they did not like the tone. So it's either you got the wrong batch of people, you should get another test screen to see, or you might need to go fix some stuff. It's supposed to be more lighthearted, fun, joyful, which DC hasn't been for a while, at least live action. So they're trying to get back to that. DC can be joyous, fun, lighthearted, all that. It can be like Marvel is. They went the dark and brooding route and realistic route. They don't have to be that. They can be lighthearted, fun, and jokes, crack jokes, have fun, and everything doesn't be dark and gritty. They can be hopeful, 100%. But only time will tell if this is going to be the good move and the first good move for DC for a while, especially with their big tempo superhero. You're hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. So yeah, we'll see how it does. I think we will have another trailer probably in a week or two because I think they want to put a trailer out when Thunderbolts come out, which Thunderbolts comes out May 2nd. So I think they want to have a trailer in front of Thunderbolts just because superhero movie, another superhero movie to keep your eye up. You know, people are going to go see Thunderbolts, at least a decent amount of people, especially comic book people. So they want to make sure they know, hey, Superman's right around the corner. And the fact that Superman and Fantastic Four will be battling it out in July, it's gonna be hard to see who wins that battle. Unfortunately, I don't think China is letting either one of them come there and have that movie be played there. So I think they're gonna lose out on money from China because of the whole tariff stuff and stuff. So that's one market they're not gonna be able to boost their um, numbers with. But just like I said with Fantastic Four, if Superman only makes 600 million, I think it's probably considered a flop if it only makes 600 million. So they're looking at 700 to 800 million is what they want. This is a low bar for them to make. They want to make a billion on it. Shit, they want to make 1.5 billion because that lets them know they're alive. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me guys know. Did you see the sneak peek, the behind the scenes of the making of Superman, little snippet they did for Superman Day? They had a lot of stuff on their Instagram and social medias about Superman Day, which was really cool. But they haven't had a really good uh, advertisement for Superman because Warner Brothers is broke. They have no money, so they can't do stuff, unfortunately. So this rollout for Superman hasn't been the greatest, and they're getting close to the finish line. So we'll see if they can cross that line and make that money with that movie. Are you a Superman fan, Marcus?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Are you a DC fan? Do you like any DC heroes?
Hold on, wait. Man, I don't know who's in DC and who's not.
DC is Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Yeah, I ain't seen none of the movies. Actually, no, no,
Dang.
no. I've seen some Batman movies.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So
okay.
by default, Batman. I
Batman.
can I've seen Batman movies.
By default, Batman. Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. I
And
can respect that.
oh, what was the actor in the first Batman movie? Michael Keaton. Like
Michael
in the first,
Keaton.
he had on Jordans. Like in that Batman movie, like
Oh
the shoes he was
yeah, he
wearing were
did.
Jordans.
He
So
did. He
so
did. He
so that's
did.
that's my that's my favorite Batman because of that. So,
Okay, understandable. Understandable. Understandable.
although,
But yeah,
uh, yeah, I
yeah.
can't
Let
remember the
me
name of the
know
movie.
if you guys are. Which one are you guys more interested in seeing, Superman or Fantastic Four? Um, Let me know which one. Let me know if you're gonna see both. Let me know if you're gonna see both on the same day. Are you gonna see one Friday and then see the other one Saturday? Yeah, let us know in the comments what you're gonna do. Which one you're more excited for? Are you planning to see both, or you just planning to see one? Or are you just like, hey, I'm gonna wait till it comes on digital?
All right, talk some basketball. Austin Reeves the other week week, he had a comment. He said, as a white guy in the NBA, I sometimes look at white players, and I'm like, they're not very good. So it's a stigma that I think is real. Now, I gotta say, Austin Reeves, he's nice. Austin Reeves is nice. He's a pretty good player. So after he said that, it got me thinking. I was like, who is some of the best American white players in the league in recent years?
Mm,
Because I mean, you have white players, but they're from overseas. I'm talking about
yeah,
white
yeah.
American. And off the top of my head, I didn't make a list or anything. I was like, the ones I could think of, okay, Jason Williams, he was a point guard that played for the Sacramento Kings, had handles with the ball.
Hmm.
Uh, and really, after that, the only American white basketball player I could think of is Larry Bird,
Ooh.
because
Well, what
the
about?
only
Oh wait. What about? Oh wait. Who's the guy he played on? I think he played on Cleveland. He was shooting threes. Kevin Love.
oh, yeah, when he was in Minnesota, yes, he was really good. He was like a
Okay.
20 and 20 guy, but then he went
Okay.
to Miami, and then he kind of just not Miami, but he went to Cleveland with LeBron, and then he was kind of just
Mm.
fell off. But,
What about
Kyle
Kuzma? Is that a dude?
Kuzma, no, Kyle Kuzma, he's
Yeah.
not white. He's not white.
He's not.
He's not white.
What is he?
He's black. I mean, he's probably mixed with something, but he's not a white.
Okay. Wait, am I thinking the right? Is that the bald dude with the beard? He played for the Bulls now. I might be
Oh,
thinking of a different person.
Alice Caruso. I mean,
Alex
doesn't
Caruso.
he plays for Oklahoma? But no, no, he's not a like a star. He's a good role
Okay.
player. He's a good role player.
Okay.
He's not a star. But
Okay.
like that's it. The last one I can really like the like white player that was a superstar,
Uh
Larry
huh.
Bird. Now,
Yeah.
so let me for those of you who don't know
What
about
about
Larry
Tyler
Bird,
Hero?
he's not a superstar.
Okay.
I
I,
don't.
I know. He's just a name I heard.
Yeah, yeah. He's from Wisconsin. He's not a
Okay.
superstar though. But like
Gotcha. Gotcha.
superstar, there hasn't been a white superstar since Larry Bird. But
Gotcha. Respect.
for those
Respect.
for those of you who don't know about Larry Bird, Larry Legend, that man was cold as shit. I'm just gonna tell you one story. Well, Larry Bird was one of the greatest trash talker in NBA history.
Yep.
Probably he probably won. Skip that. We're not even gonna say NBA history. Larry Bird is probably one of the greatest trash talkers in sports history. I'm not even keeping the NBA because sports history. And once I tell you this story, you're gonna understand why I say this. Brian Shaw, who is another former NBA player, he played with Magic in LA and a host of other teams. Um, One time he was on Paul George's podcast. He was telling a story about Larry Bird. And it kind of goes back to what Reeves said about how, he look at white players and think they're not very good. So
Hmm.
one of Larry Bird's biggest issue was when an opposing coach guarded him. Now, once y'all understand, Larry Bird is a white man himself. Okay, he's a white man himself. One of Bird's biggest issue was when a opposing coach guarded him with a white player. He definitely took it as an insult if you put a white dude on him. Brian Shaw was telling him Paul George podcast. He was like, one time the Celtics were playing the Phoenix Suns, and the best players was Tom Chambers. Those of you who don't know Tom Chambers, one of his highlights you might have seen if you watch NBA highlights, he was going for a dunk, and he kind of had his knee up in the air, and a defender tried to take a charge. But only it did would help elevate him higher for when he dunked the ball. So when
Uh,
he dunked the ball, his head was at the rim. So it made the dunk look
mm,
like 10 times worse. So, um, Tom Chambers played for Phoenix Suns. The coach decided to defend Larry Bird with Tom Chambers, who is also white. It was a big mistake. Bird let them know that let them know that putting Tom Chambers on her was a mistake. It said Larry Bird caught the ball at the front of the Phoenix bench, turned around, and had a full conversation with the head coach and the coaching staff, saying, "You going to try and disrespect me like this? You going to put this white dude on me and think he can guard me?" He just turned around and shot a jumper in his face and went down the court shaking his head. Now,
That
I've
is
heard
so disrespectful.
I've heard stories about Larry Bird. It was like Larry Bird to tell you what he's going to do before he did it. He's like, "I'm gonna go left, take two dribbles, and pull up in your face, and then I'm gonna shoot this ball." And he'll tell it to his defender before he did it, and then he went and did it and knocked down the shot. So yeah, Larry Bird, he was a bad man. That was the last white NBA superstar that I can remember. If the people listening, if you can name someone else, put them in the comments. But yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think of a American white superstar. The last one I can honestly remember is Larry Bird because Luca is from Slovenia. Dirk isn't from here. Um, Trying to think what other like Steve Nash got two MVPs, but he's from Canada.
Oh,
I
is Steve
mean,
Nash from Canada? Okay.
yeah, he's
What
Canadian.
about what about the other dude that played with uh the mailman?
Oh,
Who is that?
Stockton, John
Yeah.
Stockton. I
Would you
super,
would you consider
super
him a superstar?
I don't see that's kind of star probably.
Okay.
I don't know if I would consider him superstar though,
Understandable. Understandable.
because
Okay.
I look at Stockton like how I look at Clay Thompson. Clay Thompson was a star before the injuries. I don't think he's a superstar because
Yeah.
I don't think Clay Thompson can carry a team. Steph Curry is a superstar. He can carry a
Yeah.
team. So
Yeah. I
that's
get your point. Yeah.
that's how
I would agree.
define that's how I define a star and a superstar. But I think there, so to speak, in the movie, the next great white hope, as far as for males, I think there's going to be Cooper Flag. I think he has potential to be very good.
I
The
yeah.
only thing that's going to suck, I hope they don't do Cooper Flag like how they did with Caitlin Clark because
Okay.
Caitlin Clark is dope. Like she's really good. She's really good. But then it kind of turned into somewhat of a racial thing because she was a
Yeah.
white American
Yeah,
white
they
player
really did.
that has good has really talented and because like the whole thing with her and Angel Reese, they tried to make it bigger than what it really was. I don't think those two women dislike each other. I think they actually like each other, but because made the media and some of the fans that made Angel Reese the villain
Yeah.
and then Caitlin Clark the Great White Hope. But it was
Yeah.
like, but Angel Reese won a national championship. Caitlin Clark didn't. So,
True.
but granted, that LSU was a better team than Iowa. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I think their next hope will be Cooper Flag
Okay.
as far as
Okay.
a purebred American white star.
True.
So
True.
yeah,
Superstar. Let's say
yeah.
superstar because we think about superstar status. Yeah. Yeah. I hope Cooper is up to that task. Because that's a lot of pressure to put on a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not saying he folded in the pressure in the college basketball March Madness, but he didn't pull it off there. So
Yeah.
pulling it off on a bigger stage might be difficult.
And I understand
Um,
the reason why I feel this way because when they skirmish against Team USA last summer going to the Olympics, he was
he
doing this thing. He was doing this thing.
he
He
did
held
play
his own.
really well against them.
As a teenager playing against like NBA players, and we're not talking about
Veteran
scrubs.
NBA
Like,
player. Yeah,
right,
veteran.
that is something that is pretty dope. I mean, Kyrie did it when he was younger, and Kyrie got in league, and he went off. He did his thing too. So shout out for
True,
Cooper
true,
Flag.
true.
I'm rooting for Cooper Flag.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if he can do it. Speaking of flags, we got to see the terrible ending to Daredevil Born Again. They need to wave a flag of surrender because it was not great. We're going to talk about episode 8 and 9, season finale, final episode of season one. We're going to spoil stuff. I'm going to give you my review of it real quick, break you down some things that happened. So if you don't want to be spoiled, um, probably just go. Don't, um, go ahead and like this video, put it on mute, let it play the rest of the way through because we need that watch time. That helps us. And then come back later. Yeah, like I said, talking about episode 8 and 9 of Daredevil Born Again. Um, this season all over the place. I get that they had different writers, different show leads. They changed out show. I forget what it's called. The guys controlling the show. They changed them out halfway through. The first show creators or show executives shot part of the show. The second ones had to shoot around what they already was shot and then add in the middle. So from the beginning to the end, it's a configured mess mushed together, made into a show. Um, the one of the best episodes for me of what I thought the show could be was episode 5, was the bank robbery episode. Um, it showed a different Daredevil. It showed a Disney Daredevil and not a Daredevil trying to be the Netflix Daredevil, and a Daredevil that was a mix of the Disney and Netflix together and made it more lighthearted and a little fun, but also still gritty at times. If they could have kept that pace throughout the whole thing, that would have been great. Hopefully, they take that into the second season because they already got greenlit for a second season. They got greenlit for 18 episodes. They split it and did 2 seasons, 9 episodes for one, 9 episodes for that. But episode 8 pretty much took all place in a ballroom. Fisk had this party, invited people. Matt came with his psychiatrist girlfriend, Heather. I believe her name is Heather. I was messing it up before. She got invited because she's Fisk's psychiatry, or she that person with him and his wife trying to get them back together. Um, Bullseye gets out of jail. He escapes jail. The escape was kind of cool. How he did it, kind of cool. Crazy that they don't have that good security. This makes me wonder if this is easy to get out of jail all the time, but it's a show, so makes sense. And then we find out that Vanessa actually hired Bullseye to kill Foggy because Foggy figured something out about uh, he figured out Red Hook is like not in America, but not in New York either. It's some kind of legal thing where it's its own country in a sense. The Red Hook of the show is like this the port, it's a free port or something. So he figured that out and he was trying to say that the whatever case he had happened there and it should be thrown out because that's not in jurisdiction of New York. I can't say that word. New York. He was trying to throw that out. So there's that. That's why she wanted him killed, and she used Bullseye to do that. Bullseye got taken down and went to jail. He broke out of jail. He's upset that Vanessa tried to get him killed in jail because she ordered a hit on him in jail. So he got out of jail to kill her. That's pretty much episode 8. Matt takes a shot for Kingpin. Um, because plot. That's the only reason he took that show. It's because of he took that shot. It was because of plot. There's no real reason for you to take the shot for Kingpin. There's no real reason for you not just push him out the way and let him get not get shot. There's multiple things you could have did besides jump in front of a bullet. As a blind man, jump in front of a bullet makes no sense. It's very upsetting. Um, but that's pretty much episode 8. You have Matt trying to mentally fight Kingpin and figure out why he's doing what he's doing, and then he figures out that Vanessa's the one that did what she's doing and with Foggy. So then he mentally is fighting her, and his girlfriend Heather is still like, "Why you got this hard on for Kingpin or Fisk, and you don't know this guy?" So she's still, for a psychiatrist, it's really weird to have her in the middle of this and not figure some stuff out. It's super weird. But that's pretty much episode 8. Not a great episode. We got a little more information to put the story along, but the story's already mad as it is. Episode 9, big finale. We get Frank coming back. We got Karen coming back into the picture. There is kind of an awesome fight in this episode. Fisk sends his right hand man to go kill Matt. Matt gets out the hospital, but then they go to his house and they have their task force there to fight him. Frank comes and helps him fight. They're fighting in Matt's apartment, and Frank is killing people. But it's not the way they shoot it, it's bloody, but not bloody. It's like done in the dark and gray, so it's not a lot of red blood, which I thought was an interesting take for them to do it that way, but also a way to not be too bloody. Um, it's Disney still. It's still Disney. They say they were going to give you blood. They gave you some real broken bones here and there, headshots, but those headshots that you don't really see, a little blood splatter, but not really like bleeding, bleeding. He did put an axe in somebody's head, and you see that, but it's in a dark kind of area, so it's still not vividly. But it's interesting the way they shot it, say the least. Was it a great action scene? Nah, I can't say great, but it happened. It was some action in the show, so that's a positive. But they fight task force in Matt's apartment. Karen comes, drives them away so they get patched up. This is where we find that Karen has been talking to Frank and asked Frank to go check on Matt, make sure he's good. Frank's like, "Hey, I did what you asked me. I helped him." I guess him and Karen might be talking for a while. I didn't see Daredevil season 3, or I didn't see Punisher any of the seasons. So they could have been talking there. I don't know when they were talking. But Matt's like, "I'm glad to have you back, Karen." And Karen's like, "I don't think I'm really back, but I'm here to help you for the moment." And then that's when they find out about Foggy, and they find out that he found out about the Red Hook being the Freeport, and that's why he got murdered, and Vanessa did the murdering. So they know that now. But at this point, Kingpin's like, "Look, I'm just gonna take over the city, basically." So he takes his task force and he's talking to the Congress people, and he's like, "Hey, will you be on board for me while I'm making this what's it called, safe city staging thing, where he's going to implement all these martial law rules where you have a curfew, vigilante, I can't say that word, um, is outlawed, and it would be dealt with through his task force. And he's making the laws. He's declaring martial law, and he gets them to be on board with it by telling them, "Hey, I know you're hiding money here, and you're doing this here, and you're doing that there. If you don't agree with this, I'll let the public know about this to you." So he just basically conned them, and he's still the kingpin. He also does this to the chief. The chief knows he's still the kingpin. He's trying to take him down, but the kingpin has his secret spies around, which is one of the ladies that was running his mayor campaign. She ends up turning on the chief. The chief thought she was a friend, turns on her, which is stupid. I was like, you could have just not did that. But she turned on, told Kingpin like he's about to tell on you, he's about to go above your head. So the Kingpin has him brought to him, and he kills him. He kills him brutally. He literally takes his head and smashes it. That was like one of the most impressive parts of this episode. And it wasn't even super impressive. It was just weird the way he smashed his jaw. Um, but he killed him, and that's when you have Kingpin in his white Kingpin kind of tuxedo, and he has red blood hands. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. Is it worth this whole series? Not at all. But that's what happens. And then Frank ends up telling Daredevil and Karen that he's not about this Columbo. He's not on Columbo. So he's just going after the task force. I don't understand why he's going after the task force the way he is, but he is. He goes after the task force. He kills a couple of guys, but they're like, hey, we want to take Frank down non-lethal. So they take him down, and then they tell him how they admire him and they want to work with him and they were glad to serve with him. And Frank's like, I'm not going to serve with you guys. You guys suck. You don't know my pain. It was very weird. Frank ends up getting locked up. Kingpin has him locked up. So that's going to be Frank's. I know they're supposed to be making a movie or a TV movie about the Punisher breaking out of some prison. Eventually, he's going to get sent to some prison or something like that. That made no sense for him to go in there like that and try to take down the task force by himself. There's like 30 guys, maybe 40, and you tried to go take them on by yourself. That was real. After you've been shot and stuff, that was stupid. That made no sense. That felt very pointless. But then Daredevil finding out about Vanessa, he has a plan to try to go after the task force. And Karen's like, no, if you go in there, you're gonna die. He's talking like, yeah, you're right. I am gonna die, but I need to fight Kingpin. And there's another way to fight him, and he's gonna gather the regular people of the city to bond together to take back the city. And that's where you leave off for season 2 of Daredevil talking to the good police, I guess, and let him know he's here and they're going to be on his side and help him go after Fist now. And now Fist has all this power, and it's just weird. It's so weird. I was hoping more from this first season. This first season is very meh. I I'm gonna watch the second season because we do this show, and I'm gonna watch it for this. I'm not excited for it, but I have a ways to go, and hopefully they fix a lot of the problems. But the show is really just blah. With all the good shows out there, this is not one of them, and it's hard to watch it and be excited for a show where you know there are other good shows out there. Maybe not even the other good. Well, there's other Invincible's amazing. It's really good right now. So it's hard to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch Daredevil and know I'm be bored for an hour with like 2 or 3 things that happen that are exciting. It's so bad. So if I would give a rating of this season, I'm gonna be generous and give it a 6 out of 10. That's being generous, because a lot of these episodes I could easily fall asleep on, and they're not that exciting. It doesn't really pay off. All the little breadcrumbs they're leaving for stuff don't pay off, and it's very meh. But you do got some good TikToks of a guy making fun of the way Kingpin talks. He's like, "Oh, I'm Vanessa. I am here, and I think I'm going to love you just a little bit more." Those are hilarious. Dude that do those TikToks, it's hilarious. So you got that. We got that from this whole show is that. A guy making funny TikToks. But yeah, that's somewhat quick review of Daredevil Born Again season 1 all over. So we got season 2 to look forward to. He's got a new black suit. We did get some clips, not clips, but they have some pictures from him filming season 2 right now, and he's got this cool black suit with the Daredevil initials in red. The suit looks cool, but I'm not hopeful for the season 2 being good. Yeah. So let me know if you guys watched it. Did you guys like it? Did you guys dislike it? What do you think they could have did better? Or do you think they did very well? Oh, hiccup. You think they did very well? Hit us in the comments down below. Let us know. But yeah, that's my review. Clearly stellar, happy review of Daredevil Born Again season one, which is finished. Season two coming. I think season two comes. I would think they want to push it out fast because they were like, let's get this over with so we can cancel it. But I think it's coming out 2027, maybe late 2026, probably. Yeah, yeah. Marcus, you got another story because that we got to leave the people on a high note
Yep.
because that was a
Uh,
this is a bad show. It's just a bad show.
I'm just going to wrap up with NBA playoffs. So Oklahoma is up 2 games to 0 on Memphis. Like this is going to be a sweep. I think Oklahoma just beating the hell out of Memphis.
Oh yeah, I seen
They
that. I see
they
that.
beat them by like 51 in game one. I turned that game off
Oh,
before like even the second quarter started, and then they
so
beat them
question.
again by 19.
Damn. Okay, so that's not as bad. Do you think Memphis is getting beat this bad because they fired their coach right before, or do you think this might have happened either way it goes?
Either way it goes,
Okay.
it don't matter if Phil Jackson was still there, Red Auerbach, uh, Greg Popovich. Uh, it don't matter. They yeah yeah they
Is Oakland just that much better than them?
OKC. Yes, they have a deep team.
Okay.
They share the ball. They're really good defense. So yeah. So I
Okay.
expect that to be a sweep. It's a wrap. Then Denver and the Clippers are tied 1-1. This is, I like this matchup here. This has been a fun series to watch. I
Okay.
said before the playoffs start that Clippers is going to be my sleeper team, so I'm hoping Clippers get past Denver. It's been good, 2 good games so far. Then we got
Okay.
the Lakers in Minnesota, who's tied 1-1. I'm rooting for Minnesota. I'm a Timberwolves fan, and I got a bet on this series anyway. So I
Oh.
need Minnesota to win. Um, Currently, the Rockets and Warriors are playing. Golden State is up 1-0, but Houston was up by like, I don't know. It was up by a significant amount last I had the game
Okay.
on. So I don't remember the score right now, but Houston was winning that. Looks like and Jimmy Butler got hurt in this game.
Mm.
Uh, so it looks like Houston is probably going to win this. I expect this series to be tied after tonight with 1-1. Golden State won the first game by 10 in Houston. Um, Cleveland is up 2-0 in Miami. This is be expected. I expect this to be a sweep as well.
Okay.
Uh, Indiana and Milwaukee. Indiana's up 2 games to 0. Dame just came back last night, game two. Uh, I, I want Milwaukee to win this series. I just don't like the Pacers. I don't have a real reason why I don't like the Pacers. I just don't like the Pacers. But
Okay.
they're playing some decent basketball. Like I said, Dame just came back, so we'll see if he can. Dame actually got technical in game one, and Dame wasn't even playing, but he was talking shit to Tyrese Halliburton, which is
Okay.
the point guard for Indiana. They was going
Hmm.
back and forth. So hopefully Milwaukee can get it together Friday and win the next game in Milwaukee. Then you got the Knicks and Pistons, which is tied at 1-1. Theoretically, Detroit should be up 2-0, but in game one, Detroit blew a 20-point lead. The Knicks went on a 21-0 run in the fourth quarter
Mm.
that helped them win game one. Then the last night game was a good game. I felt like there was some suspect calls made. every time Jalen Brunson slipped and fell, uh, he got a whistle. They called a foul in Detroit. But Cade Cunningham was went in there and showed out. So shout out to Detroit. I'm rooting for them. And then you got Boston and Orlando. Boston is up 2-0 in that series. They played earlier
Okay.
tonight. Uh, Tatum is out. He didn't play this game. I feel like because they're playing Orlando, it's like we can beat this team without Tatum. I feel like if it was like
Yeah.
deeper in the playoffs, like the finals or Eastern Conference Finals, he probably would have played in tonight's game. But like
Hmm.
they really don't need him. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
uh, I also expect this. Yeah, I also expect this to be a sweep as well, with Boston
Mhm.
beating uh, Orlando. So that's my just small, just an update on the NBA playoffs right now.
Okay. So I know I seen the Lakers lost their first game and they lost by a decent amount and then they came back and won the second one and they won it by I think 10 maybe.
Nine.
Um 9. Okay.
Yeah,
So I know you say you're rooting for Memphis. I get it.
Minnesota.
Uh Anthony oh Minnesota. Sorry. Anthony Davis. Is it Anthony Davis?
Edwards. Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, you're a fan of his. Um, but do you think they can win that
I
series
will,
between LeBron and Luca?
I will say, last night game, the Lakers was the more physical team. They
Okay.
came out, pressured the ball. They've got like the Lakers defense was pretty good last night. Like they was
Okay.
like playing really good defense. LeBron was like you know guarding close and whatnot. Um, Lakers had a big lead in that game, and then Minnesota came back the game and they lost by 9. So uh, I'm going to say yes. I think Minnesota can win because I want Minnesota to win. Like I said, I have a bet on this series. But I will
Understand.
say, Luca is averaging 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in the first 2 games. Uh,
Okay.
Anthony Edwards is averaging 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. That first game, Minnesota shot lights out from 3-point range. They shot like 50%. This last night game, they didn't shoot the ball that well. Don't expect them to shoot 50% from the 3-point line 2 games in a row. But
Yeah.
also, Minnesota got a lot of the key players got a foul trouble early. So
Mm,
that definitely did not help them.
yeah.
And really did get any help with scoring the ball last night. So,
Mm.
but I have,
So
I have, I
the
definitely have confidence because Andy Edwards ain't scared of nobody. Don't care if it's Luca,
very true.
LeBron. He don't care who it is. He go get his buddies. He go talk his shit, and he go do what he does.
I did see something. I don't know if it was real or not that Anthony said um, that LeBron has been great since he came in the league, but he's always been criticized. He's the most criticized player, and he's been doing this the longest and being consistent and still criticized. But he's like, something along like, I respect him. He's good. I give him my flowers to him, something like that.
Mhm.
Um, which I was like, touche, young man, touche. You understand LeBron is great. You're not saying that you bowing down to him, but you like, no, that man is good. He can
Yep,
play. He's
yep.
changed the game. He's been a force in the game for what you said,
Two
almost
decades.
a decade with 2 decades. Like you
Yeah,
have to give him his flowers for that. Is he kind of tainting his legacy towards the end? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. The fact that he's still 40 and playing at this level with this actually effect on the game says miles. That's just amazing. There's
yeah.
no other player that played into their 40s and still affected the game the way LeBron does. It's just a fact at this point. Um, so you gotta give him his flowers for that. But I respect if that was what he said, and that's not AI or some stuff like that. Respect you, Anthony. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Mm.
Mm.
I
But
yeah,
yes, is that all?
yes.
All right, guys.
Mm.
So that is it for today's podcast. Appreciate you guys listening and watching now because we're on YouTube. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, that share button, share it to all your friends, family, and even your enemies. Share it to everybody. If you haven't, check out all our other social media links down below: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We're even on Blue Sky and formerly Twitter, whatever it's called now. It's gonna be called something else in like another 30 years, so get used to it. But thanks you guys for watching it. If you have any questions, we have an email for questions down below. And if you would like to leave us a voicemail asking a question about sports, superheroes, or any of the other things you would like to ask us that is not weird and we would gladly answer them, go ahead and look at the voicemail link down below and leave us a voicemail. You only got like a minute. Unless you leave us 30 voicemails each time, call multiple times. Hey, I'm not paying for the service. I don't give a fuck. Just so you can do that. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Appreciate all support. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.